Okay. So I usually like to just start with a couple of updates and we'll go through our agenda today, but let's just kind of take a look at where we are. I know you all are so conscientious about deadlines and everything, so we have been chipping away at a lot of these kind of smaller tasks, but important thought-provoking discussions and reflections. So looking ahead, we're going to be I'm going to ask you to do a discussion post for this video on the beauty of data visualization. So affirmations, critiques, whatever you think about it, and then we'll be able to review those, review your responses there. Last class we talked about Simpson's paradox, so we focused on analyzing categorical data, and we saw those interesting examples where the conclusion was more or less reversed when we looked at another variable. Today we're going to be working on our Tableau lab. So I know some people have a lot of experience with Tableau and others are brand new to Tableau. Some people like it, some people don't like it. We're not going to be using Tableau that much in this class, but I did want us to have some experience with that. So because our topic today is all about quantitative data analysis, and we're kind of putting the final touches on our foundation in data analysis, including both the categorical and the quantitative, this is a good day to do something practical with some data. So we'll be looking at Airbnb listings. And there is a tutorial to follow, so what I'd like to do is just get you started with that and give you some time and space to work through that tutorial because it has some really good instructions there. And it might be good to sit near someone who does have Tableau experience so you can ask questions, and of course I'm here to help with any questions that come up. Just a reminder that our DataCamp courses are long, and I know I keep saying this, but let's just see where we are. Really want to encourage everyone to chip away at those. So we're making some progress here. So far, it looks like I have 26 in the group, and then I had to make a separate assignment for two who joined DataCamp a little bit later. So set aside some time so that you're not having to put in a whole bunch of extra time. We have a little less than 2 weeks, so it's still almost 2 weeks away, but you'll be well served by getting ahead on that. And then I have posted the next 2 DataCamp courses that we need for our later topics. So we're going to be spending next week doing a deep dive into Python. So some have had some experience with Python. For others, it's brand new, and I always feel that DataCamp is best when used as a tool to introduce topics, and then when we come together, it's great to experiment more with that, with the programming language, and do more, I'd say, open-ended exercises, because DataCamp can feel a little bit like you're going through motions. So we'll spend class time next week really working with Python and getting to know some of the ins and outs, getting to know the interface that we'll use. So we are going to use Colab for this, just Colab, so not Replit. Hello. And so the later topics are the supervised learning with scikit-learn. That's going to be foundational to a lot of our work that we do in data science, and it's going to be great preparation for our final project, which we won't talk about just yet, but we'll get to it. So that's there, and someone asked if I could release the DataCamp assignments early, so I'm going to keep doing that. I'll release them. Try to release them at least 3 weeks in advance, maybe even more so you have time to chip away at it. So that's just an update. Don't leave it to the last minute or you'll find yourself rushing through. Okay. So for today, we have some people joining us online, and that's always an option. We're going to be working through some more quantitative data analysis or numerical data analysis. I kind of use those terms interchangeably. I have some notes for us that I've prepared that have some built-in exercises that we can do to kind of get ourselves thinking about different ways to analyze numerical data. And then in terms of setting yourself up for the Tableau lab that we'll do in the second half of class, you are totally welcome to use the lab computers because they do have Tableau installed. For those joining us online, there's another option, which is to use, there's a virtual desktop. So you can log into the Eisenberg virtual desktop. You'll find that in our assignments area. And that will work just fine. You can also, if you want to work with your own device, which I totally understand, you can use the 14-day trial. I'm still waiting for the licenses. So I've requested licenses for Tableau for everyone, even though we're only really going to be using it in the early part of the class. You may, you may want to use it later on. So I kind of said that our class extends a little bit longer than it actually does. So you could have that Tableau license for a longer stretch of time. So I should be getting those fairly soon, definitely before this 14-day trial elapses, especially if you start it today. So lots of options for working with Tableau in our lab today.